it flew back a little bit. just trying to hold even.
Yeah.
That camera actually looks like this car has a good interior.
What's going on? Welcome back to Fix It Random. We're on a test drive. Told you that I was going to post a video about the repairs that we'd made, and then I never actually did. It is necessary to say that we replaced the fuel filter. That did nothing. Made me feel better, I guess. Honestly, the other one was just fine. We replaced the PCV valve, and that did basically nothing. I think it was a placebo effect on that one. It actually seemed to run slightly better, but not really. Ultimately, it started the same thing, the surging while you're driving and popping and all kinds of stuff, backfiring. And then I got tired of dealing with that and decided I wasn't going to drive it once a week. He's not driving yet, so I was driving it once a week just to make sure that it's functioning. You know, you have to drive a car, you can't just leave it sitting. So I wanted to drive it once a week just to make sure and that it was going to be okay. And I didn't do that. I slacked on it. I would get outside and like, I don't want to deal with all the backfiring and it idling rough and maybe leave me stranded. So I'm not driving this car. Well, I left it for at least 3 weeks and it wouldn't crank anymore, it wouldn't start anymore. And so we decided, well, remember the guy saying it probably needs a fuel pump or will in the future need a fuel pump because it's already kind of acting weird. So we ordered a fuel pump, he installed it, and it still does the same thing. We're still doing the same thing. It would not actually crank, or it wouldn't actually start, it wouldn't fire. You could turn it over and it would, you know, the starter was working, the battery was fine. You know, we got air, there's nothing clogged there, so probably no spark. So I went ahead and when I got home Friday, pulled all the spark plugs out, and they looked terrible. I'll actually put a photo of what they look like in this spot. But so I cleaned them all off with my wire brush, and I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but I did it and put them all back in there. Also re-gapped them. It looked like they were gapped. They were gapped probably at about 0.024, and I re-gapped them back to stock, which is 0.032, and put them all back in there, put the coil packs back on, and there were 2 screws missing there, so I actually found some different screws. They were too long. I cut them off and got them to fit. And so reinstalled all that, started it right back up. Actually, I didn't put the screws in until I actually knew that it was running. Started up immediately, no problem. Took it for a drive, no problem, no surging, no backfiring, nothing. Just smooth as butter. So we're taking it for a test drive today. We're going to take you with us. We're just going to drive out into what I consider to be the country. We're pretty close. We're on the edge of the city limit where not many people are, and where the roads get slightly curvy, a bit more curvy. Nothing's curvy around here. Everything's pretty straight. Nobody can handle a curve.
Except for me.
You can't handle a curve. So.
No, I'm curving.
No, you're not curving. You're built like a 2x12.
Oh.
As you can tell, it's running pretty smoothly. No issues. The steering wheel is actually a bit crooked, but when I let off of the steering wheel, it drives reasonably straight. It doesn't. You know, the variance is usually 6 seconds. That's what Honda, back when I had a Honda, they wouldn't do anything with my alignment unless it was actually changing lanes in 6 seconds from completely in one lane to completely in the other lane. That seems like to me that's a bit excessive. If mine veers too much at all outside of the norm, because you're supposed to have a little bit of a veer to the right. So if you fall asleep, you go off the road to the right, not to the left, and into oncoming traffic. At any rate, outside of that norm, well, I don't know what that is, but if it feels like I have to push to keep it on the road, I'm not a heavy camper, and this is not that bad. But the steering wheel is turned, and so I feel like they could probably dial that out. It's going to be 45 soon.
It's 45 now.
No, it's not. 45. No, it's 40. It was 40 back there. It's just becoming 45 right now.
Well, it's 45. It's all 45. Okay.
Now we're going 45.
Perfect. Curve up ahead.
Back in 6th, we're cruising. Hey, and today, for some reason, the gauge, not the gauge, but the little screen in between the gauges, whatever that is working. What would you call it? Yeah, it's working for some reason.
A little screen.
It never works. Like, never works. I only twice had this car since May. Did I buy this in May, right after your birthday?
You bought it the day after my birthday.
The day after his birthday. We bought this, and it has not worked except one time, and that
it was barely.
that was
like
about
a couple hours.
that was about 6 weeks after we got the car. I put it in the shop immediately and got the transmission fixed because it was broken. I think I told you all that, but if I didn't, its first gear was messed up. It was completely seized up, and the shaft that it was sitting on, that would go 55. The shaft that it was sitting on was actually bent slightly, so they were actually able to bend that back and get it straight. I don't know if that's okay or not, but they were. I don't guess it was bent that much, and they put a new first gear on there, and it's running like a champ. And the transmission shop that I got it done at, they do a decent job. I will say they were slow. I dropped it off, told them I was going to be gone for, I think it was 11 or 12 days, and I'd like to know something. I was kind of expecting it to be fixed by the time I got back. Not only was it not fixed by the time they got back, but they had not even looked at it. At any rate, they did work on it, and it actually took 6 weeks total, I'm pretty sure about that, to get the vehicle out of the shop, and it cost me $1,500 to get that fixed. I paid cash, and so I was able to get a discount because I didn't do credit. And then it ended up with a Mondo transmission leak. Took it back, and they fixed it for free. There was apparently a seal that was not part of the process that they did not replace, and it had degraded or something, so they put a new seal in there. It was probably their fault. They probably left it out, but it smelled bad. I don't even know how to describe that smell, but burned transmission fluid stinks really bad. If nobody's down in this parking lot, oh, there it is. Well, we'll take a little trip down in there. We'll take a little zoom down in there.
A detour?
Yeah, because it may be that they have their boats out
I'm pretty sure
on the lake, and so it's not.
I don't see any boats on the trailers.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a no big deal situation here. Through the gravel, out to the edge. I think we got somebody down there. We'll loop around here on the other side of them. We'll wave. Hey, how y'all doing? How you mama doing? Give a little bit of goose. A little bit of goose.
No parking. Parking, Dad? No parking. What's this?
So this car has a aftermarket downpipe. It's catless, and I don't know what brand it is, but it has to be the cheapest one that is ever made. For all I know, the guy made it himself. It is horrific.
It's a drainage pipe.
It doesn't fit properly. The little pole pieces, little poles that come out or posts that stick into the bushings are not lined up, and I've bent them down, and it's still whatever. It makes a lot of clattering noise, but at any rate, the pipe, the way that it came, he said that he had to do a resonator delete. He left the muffler on the back, and so that's why it sounds like it does, which is actually pretty good. It doesn't seem to have any leaks, and so we're going to leave it for now. Any exhaust work I do to this is probably going to be when I detune it, and we'll stick. I do have the stock cat. He gave me that, and we'll stick the stock cat back on there when we detune, so we don't have a constant check engine light.
No.
He says no.
I don't want that.
He doesn't want that.
Just don't detune it.
Don't detune. Well, maybe I'll go down to a stage 1, because right now it's on stage 2 plus, and honestly, it doesn't have the mods necessary to do stage 2 plus for real. So it's not doing. If you were to look up, it's got the Unitronic stage 2 plus tune, or it has all of the options. You can do any of those on the screen, but it doesn't actually produce the kind of horsepower. There's no way. He hazarded a guess that it's putting down about 290 horsepower, and not a clue on the torque. So I don't know. Probably right at 300, maybe a little bit more, but still, there again, I can't really feel. I don't feel like it's 381 foot-pounds of torque. It doesn't pull quite as hard as mine does, and mine really can't, even in the dry, it can't keep the tires stuck to the ground in second gear. So he does have some sticky tires on here that apparently are close to track rated, so they're pretty sticky.
Yeah, that aftermarket tires.
Yeah, aftermarket tires on there. It's got some bush, and he put some donuts. He went to the donut shop. He got some donuts and put them on there. I turn so easily on that. Oh, look at that house. I like that. It's nice.
It's like the other one.
So what else is left on this car? Headliner. I put staples up because it was bothering me. I tried doing the adhesive, spray adhesive. All it would do is just fall right back down on my head. Well, it gets really hot here, so it didn't take too long. About a day, a full 24-hour period, and it was back down in heat. Well, of course, it's not the whole time, but at night sometimes it's still in the 90s at 10 o'clock. So at any rate,
There's a donkey.
Headliner, the door panels, both sides, front and back, all that needs to be redone. This I priced out at $350. The door panels he said he'd have to look at, so my guess is he's probably going to charge me about $100 a piece, maybe. He may do all four for $300 or $350. So I'm just in my head, I'm calculating $700 to $800 to have that done over a period of time. But we can deal with right now. Honestly, the headliners, it's in place. It's not touching my head anymore. It's not annoying. I think I would tackle the door panels front and back before I did that. Otherwise, the interior is in fantastic shape. It probably needs to be cleaned. It was a one-owner, well, no, it's a two-owner vehicle, but the first guy that sold it had it for the majority of the years, and then he sold it to a guy. He only had it a few months, maybe 5 or 6 months, and then he sold it because he messed up the transmission and could not afford to fix it. So, and he was nice enough to sell it to me, knowing that I would thoroughly enjoy having it and love it just as much as he did and the previous guy. Nothing like the emotion that a car seems to have that's actually a good driving car. And as Jeremy Clarkson says, the emotionless Germans are capable of producing some cars that inspire so much emotion. So I don't know that they're all that much emotionless, but that's his statement. I guess you could call them the Vulcans of our planet.
Where are
They're
we?
logical. We're out, way out. For the sake of not divulging our location, we will not say where we are.
I feel like if we got shot, no one would find us.
There's houses everywhere.
And there's woods over there, too.
There's houses everywhere. But not to mention the fact, we are in the South, I'll say that much. And the people who own guns and have guns around here don't wield them like a crazy person. They use them for self-defense and killing them deer.
So,
Realistically, they're good folks, kind of people that you want to know and want to be around. So, come up on their property, though, you might have something you're going to have to deal with. Might be eating some lead there, buddy. I'm going to invite you to leave and never come back. I've been told that by someone. He has too.
like 8 times in the same
In the
sentence.
same sentence. It was crazy. It's like, I'm going to invite you to leave and never come back. I'm going to invite you to leave and never come back. All the while on his cell phone. And his partner over there on the side-by-side was holding his shotgun in his lap. I was like, well, I'm just trying to get to, we're on our mountain bikes. I'm just trying to get to the road. Everything's fine. So we're trying to get on the main thoroughfare and get hit. Because exercise is not something that people around here seem to really want to do.
Or agree with.
Or agree. Yeah. I guess if they go running or something like that, it's okay, but you're not on the road. If you're on the road, man, this just got really bad. Wow, check that out. 3rd gear, 2nd gear. Alright, slow right on down.
Rode into 1,000 feet, and there's a gate. Don't you run through that gate?
I'm not running through a gate. Why would I do that?
Oh. What gate?
Man, things just really changed. I have never been down this far on this road. Now, back here, I can
Might
see your
shot.
statement. Your statement might be true. I'm going to invite you to never leave and never come back, never leave, never stay here.
Dumping $500 fine.
I wouldn't take a dump out here.
Oh,
Toilet paper.
neither.
I'm civilized.
Get a disease.
Anyway, this is his car, and we're going to entrust that as a teenage boy, he will not drive in a manner that a teenage boy typically drives.
Like you.
I'm not a teenage boy. I'm 12. I'm preteen. You know, when you leave a review on the tires on Tire Rack, they say, you know, what is your driving style? And they say spirited, and I'm like,
everywhere.
Is that not? I don't think that's enough. If there was a 1 to 10, spirited's like 7.
7 or 8.
7 or 8. Spirit, you know, there's a few more levels above spirited. If you're not grinning, you're probably not pushing your car. Take that to the bank. Look at that horse.
Look at those tires.
So a Google search shows me that, or told me, audibly actually, that the spark plugs, when I pulled them out, you have by now seen the picture, the spark plugs being as dark as they were and having the soot on them as they were, means that, what the hell over there, ADD much? ADD much? I'm going 43. Burnt spark plugs, yes. So the spark plugs were black and sooty, and they said that it means it is a rich fuel mixture. And so I assume that whenever I detune this back to a stage 1, that it will be better able to manage that fuel and won't have as much of a problem with that. Of course, I'm also replacing the plug, so maybe that'll be different. I don't know if the ones I'm getting, I think they're more stock, probably cooler. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. We will see. I'm not a mechanic. Like to tinker. I like to just what? Huh? 20. I've driven out here before you were born, boy. I was out here when I was going. I had to go. I'm gonna go in this parking lot. Wow. Something I do wish my car would do is that, but it doesn't. And unfortunately, I would have to get a blow-off valve, not a diverter valve, in order to make that happen. If that's incorrect, leave a comment below, because I'd like to make my car make that noise without actually causing there to be a rich fuel issue. That could be the rich fuel issue right there, or is it lean? I think it's
lean.
This makes it rich because the air is supposed to stay in there, and so it injects the fuel that it's expecting there to be, but the air is left.
I thought the
and so there's more.
Lean.
It may be a lean air mixture. Anyway, I'd just like to thank you for watching the video, following us along. We'll have other things that we do as we have the money to do so, and as they are needed. Part of owning a used vehicle apparently has just been on new ones for quite some time because of this very problem. There's always repairs to be made, and so as we unfortunately, I wasn't home. He just wanted to tackle the fuel pump. He replaced the fuel pump himself. I mean, who else do you know? The average 15-year-old goes out there and does that himself. I would hazard a guess that less than a handful. Certainly, I don't know anybody else that would do that, but I don't know all that many people. What are you doing? You're eating a hot dog? I'm eating a hot dog. I wish I had a hot dog like that. I can't make hot dog. We'd like to thank you for watching this video. Thank you for following us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Hit that bell, as they say, smash that bell button. Oh no, you gotta smash it. I'd like you to just lightly tap that bell button.
Don't break your phone.
Don't break it. Don't break your phone. Don't break the bell button, because we need other people to be able to hit that bell button if they would like to see future videos. Why do you keep doing that? Because I like this sound. It's wonderful. Ha ha ha.